Listen to this family law attorney fight against an equal shared custody bill on April 11, 2018, complaining about the loss in millions of dollars to the state if it passes.
Secretary of the Family Law Section Council of the Illinois State Bar Association, and I happen to also be the co-author of the Illinois State Bar's resolution against this bill. Currently the state of Illinois gets federal funding and grants, and individuals obviously get state aid. There's very real potential for this state to lose federal funding, and I'm talking millions, possibly hundreds of millions of dollars.
Now, let's listen to the out-and-out lies and depths these lawyers will go to in order to keep that money coming in.
Sure, and I'm here to, my name is Craig Haston. I'm here on behalf of the Texas Family Law Foundation, and we oppose 3414 and 2157, but I'm specifically here to talk about 3414. Members, I am also a parent. I have two young grown children. I appreciate what everybody's had to say here, but what we keep forgetting about all these groups that are fathers for equal father rights and equal parent rights, they keep forgetting about what's important, which is what's important is the children's rights, and they put their rights into the mouths of the children. Studies have shown, and for the last 25 to 30 years, I've been practicing 26 and a half years in family law. I've watched us go from a standard possession order where men had almost no rights and couldn't make any decisions, and women can move anywhere they wanted, predominantly. And we have worked to give men and women more equal rights over time, getting to the standard possession order that we have today. This standard possession order that we have today, I've heard numbers between 20% and 43% and 35%. They're all over the board. But if we look at the standard possession order, we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of each week. Fathers get extra time in the summer. Not fathers, but the other parent, the visiting parent. But predominantly, we have the best interest of the child at heart in these cases. The courts have to look at that. And the standard possession order, by the way, is the minimum amount of time that a court can give to somebody in a visitation schedule. The courts can deviate if they want from the standard possession order. They're allowed to go to a 50-50 if they think that's in the best interest of the children. But this presumes that these people are reasonable and communicative people. However, they wouldn't be in front of judges. They would have been part of the 95% of the other people that settle their cases, many of whom settle on 50-50. But when they come before a court has to make that decision. And they can't give them 50-50 most of the time, and there's a good reason for that. This statute has many, many, many problems, one of which shifts the burden of proof to the other parent, one of which sets out a possession schedule for a 2-2-5, which leaves the children in limbo, never knowing where they're going to be from one week to the next, because they don't know whether they're going to be somewhere on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. They don't know any of that. The standard possession order is only off by 1 day per week in general. I guess that's my time. We're opposed to it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Haston? Ms. Klein, did you have a question?
Yeah, so we're looking at the 2019 standard possession order, and it's 200, I believe, 84 overnights for the primary and 89 for the secondary.
Well, I didn't have any time to do any quick numbers on that. I was trying to listen to the gentleman that said that he had 80 overnights, but if there's 52 weeks in the year, and if a father or if a visiting parent gets first, third, and fifth weekends out of 52 weekends, half of that plus a few is going to be about 80 overnights by themselves, not counting the Friday nights that they also get, which would add to that, and not counting the 30 days in the summer that they additionally get, and also not counting the Thanksgiving, the spring break period, and the half of the Christmas period that they get, which are all equal periods of time for the parents. So
well, every other year, though.
Pardon me?
It's every other year, and I looked at the schedule. Mm-hmm. So, and even if you did the summers where you did 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, it still equates to 89 versus 2. And so, if you are given joint custody, I don't see how you can put that two together and say that that's equal.
Well, I believe we have somebody else who can answer some of your questions on that. I haven't done the math on the overnight numbers, but I look at it to see where we are equal and where we're not equal. Mm-hmm. We're fairly equal on the weekends. Essentially, it's every other weekend for parents.
Right, but during the week they don't have any access. That's not
every
equal.
Thursday night. Every Thursday night.
Wow, a Thursday?
Yes. Well, which leaves Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you move 1 day, then you're to 50%.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday the other parent gets, and the other parent gets 1-3-5. So, or no, 2-4, right? They get 2-4. So primary gets 2-4,
yes.
and every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the secondary gets 1, 3, 5, and Thursdays.
Thursdays, yes.
That's
right.
not equal, and that's not in the best interest of the child.
Well, no, it's a standard possession order. Nobody said
That was
equal.
put into law in 1995.
Well, we've been amending it since then to give additional overnights, which is the pick up from school after school on Thursdays and return to school Monday mornings, which gives overnight on Sunday nights.
I just don't understand why anybody would want to be against this when it gives parents actual equal access to their children, and it puts it in the code to where that could actually be given. Because when you go to court, if one parent can't afford to pay, then they're going to have to sign off to agreements that they may not want to, and then that child is going to suffer.
Well, it's not for me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong.
Well, we
about
just
what
did
the
hear
child-
from the child expert doctor.
We heard one doctor, but there's been many studies that have led to the standard possession order that we have today that have said that this is what's in the best interest of the child. And this legislature, not this particular legislature, but this government has said that the standard possession order we have now is in the best interest of the child, and that's what we support. The way these bills are drafted, they're not effective, and they won't lead to less litigation. They'll lead to more litigation. And the way they're drafted,
Actually, I'm going to have to interrupt you there real quick. I don't think that's the case. Because when you get divorced, you go and you fight over, like, you get the house, you get the car, and then once that's settled, they're done fighting over the possessions. You cannot go back and fight over your house and your retirement again. That's settled. But what you can continuously go back to court and fight about are your children. So if you are given equal access to your children from the point when you get divorced, then why would you continue to fight?
well, because a lot of people don't believe that equal access to the children is in the best interest of the children. If you come from a county such as mine, Harris County, which is a very huge county, and you have parents living on one side of the county or on the other side of the county, or if you do what is predominantly done, which is the courts grant Harris County and contiguous counties, you can end up traipsing your kids all over town, sitting in the car for 2 hours per trip, which isn't fair to the children. We're not focusing on the children, we're
I
focusing
agree
on
with
the
you with
parents.
that, but that's actually something that can be remedied as well, because you can say, hey, guess what? We live here in this school district, and so we're going to stay in the school district until the child graduates.
That's right.
And the judges, they're no better. Remember, they're lawyers too. As they enjoy playing God, destroying families, and well, how do you think their cush pensions are being paid?